The U.S. military has captured a top leader of the group that claims responsibility for attacks like this one on the Iraqi parliament building back in April. Khalid al Mashadani is thought to have been the highest-ranking Iraqi in al-Qaeda in Iraq. The U.S. military says he was seized 2 weeks ago and has been providing what they describe as valuable information about the group's inner workings. Among his other duties, he claims to have relayed messages between al-Qaeda in Iraq and its leader Abu Ayyub al Masri and al-Qaeda leader Usama bin Laden. And joining us now in Baghdad, Brigadier General Kevin Bergner, Chief Spokesman, Multinational Forces in Iraq. General Bergner, you suggested earlier that Khalid al Mashadani, the man you captured, was a major conduit between al-Qaeda in Iraq and Osama bin Laden. How do you know that?
Well, Wolf, in his own words, Khalid al Mashadani has explained the role that he had, which included being the media emir for al-Qaeda in Iraq, the senior Iraqi in the leadership circle.
What kind of contacts did he have with Osama bin Laden? Did he have specific contacts with the al-Qaeda leader? How did that work?
Well, Wolf, he says that he was the conduit for information coming from the senior leadership, including Zawahiri and obviously Osama bin Laden, to the al-Qaeda in Iraq network. We're still developing the intelligence that will come from that as well. And so what we can share with you this evening is the acknowledgement that that was a role that he had and that it was an important channel that was used for al-Qaeda in Iraq.
Is he cooperating in these interrogations? Is he telling you what you want to know?
Wolf, we're learning a great deal about the nature and the circumstance of al-Qaeda in Iraq from Mashadani. One of the things that he has specifically shared with us was how he and al-Masri created this pseudonym called Islamic State of Iraq in order to cloak al-Qaeda in Iraq as more of an Iraqi-led entity and to cloak the foreign nature of the leadership of AQI. The other thing that he shared with us is the idea that this Umar al Baghdadi, the political leader, so to speak, of the Islamic State of Iraq, is really something else that they created to give someone an Iraqi name. And actually, this person is just a pseudonym for al-Masri. He has someone speak in a different voice, but all of the messaging and all the information that you hear from this Umar al Baghdadi is actually, according to Mashadani, it's coming from al-Masri.
Is it fair to say, General, that when you capture or kill one of these guys, somebody else springs up almost immediately thereafter? In other words, you can whack one guy right now, but there's another one waiting in the wings, or maybe two or three.
Well, their ability to regenerate is a fact. They do find somebody else to step up periodically. But what you have seen in this case, and what you've seen him talk to us about, is the effect that this is having on the network. The increasing pressure that our coalition forces are putting on in our focused operations against al-Qaeda are creating disunity, they're creating disagreements, they're creating distrust between the leaders. In fact, Mashadani told us that he left Baghdad and went to Mosul because of the pressure being put on the network there. And as you know, only to be captured by the coalition forces in Mosul.
General Bergner, thanks very much for joining us.